Good afternoon. In the top shed, and there's an annoying fly in here somewhere. Don't know where it's gone. You might be able to hear it. But anyway, Rose is up on the hoist, just doing a bit of routine maintenance. I'm putting a isolator bypass in with a 7.5 amp fuse in it, as advised by one of my subscribers. Seems like a really good suggestion to keep the clock ticking over, and anything else that requires, like, the interior light comes on when I open the door. Not that that's a big issue, and I think, and then I've got a bit of a quandary, a bit of an interesting one that maybe some people might have to want to have a think about. So I'm changing the oil filter. I'm doing the first oil change. I'm using the Moss Rimmer oil mist conversion kit. So I've installed that, and I'm going to put the filter in. So I've got the filter here. I'm not sure what the equivalents are, and other Ryco or Fram or what other. This is the oil that came out. A bit grubby. Bit grubby. But there's shining a torch in there. There's no metal bits in there, which is a really good sign. I'll just show the torch in there. Okay, so that's just the running in oil. So I bought a running in oil. Now at the back here, when I go up here, you can see that up there now, hopefully you can see I have put a bypass in there, and that's got a sealed weatherproof casing, 7.5 amp. So that just keeps the clock going, but obviously it won't start the car or anything like that, so it still keeps the car secure. I've also replaced the noisiest fuel pump in the world with another one here, which has got a drip on it, which I didn't see before, but anyway, guilty. So that's on there. This was the one that I had on before, and you could hear it over the radio, so I decided it was time for that one to go. This one is a diaphragm or whatever, and it's a lot quieter. So I'll tighten that fitting up in a minute. Apart from that, yes, so done that, done the bypass, doing a first service. That's where the oil filter goes onto. The high inertia starter motor makes it easier to get into. Not that should be a big deciding factor on buying a high inertia starter motor. New copper washer on the drain plug. And I've now got a crossmember. So I've got the crossmember down in the other shed. I've had it sandblasted now, and I'm painting it, and then I'm going to remove this left-hand drive one and put the right-hand drive one on. So I'll be doing that next week. All right, so I'll drop the car down after I've done, or put the filter on, and then we'll just go through and have a look at some of the other stuff. So something that's might have interest, right, is if you look up there, you'll see where the rubber bumper mount has been cut off, and you can see where there's been a bit of a job attaching the chrome bumper to the chassis rail. So I've got to fix that up. Also there's a grommet missing in there, I've noticed, so I have to put a new grommet in there to stop chafing through the wires. Alright, I'll drop the hoist down, and I will go through you with what other things are unusual about this car. All right, so I'll speak to you soon. Okay, Rose is on the floor now. I've put the new oil filter on, filled it full of oil, as you do, to make sure that you minimize the amount of time the engine's running without oil pressure. And anyway, I have now, this is registered as a 1974 car, right, which these mounts, the radiator mounts, the torch in my hand. So the radiator mounts, now to me they look like an original fitment, and there's that one there. So they look like an original fitment. However, the rails, as you can see underneath there, hopefully, they are rubber bumper rails that have been cut off to fit the chrome bumper. So you can see there. Anyway, now Now I've met a very wise gentleman in regards to the MG mark, and he's saying that this might be quite a rare car. So underneath here, behind the washer, or underneath the washer bottle down there, there is a number, which hopefully you can see. And apparently that is supposed to match the VIN number, the vehicle identification number. It's a 15-digit number that's on the chassis. So that number there, as you may or may not be able to see, but I can tell you it doesn't match the number that's here. That one there. And it also doesn't match the one that's in here. Which states that it's a 12 of 74. So as far as my understanding is, the rubber bumper didn't come out until 75. So this is a bit of an unusual car in that regard. It has the left-hand to right-hand drive conversion, and yes, it's got 3 wipers. The repeaters have gone off the outside. I can't find any evidence in the boot that these sections have been welded in and replaced. However, the bumper is a bit dodgy and needs fixing. That's one of my jobs to do. So that, yeah, it's smooth. It hasn't got the rib down here, but it's been de-seamed anyway all the way through here. So I'm just interested if anybody's got any ideas as to, like, being a rare car, it doesn't really make much difference, right? It's rare, and therefore it was on the change between the 74 and the 75. Don't get too concerned about the grille. It came with an all chrome grille when I bought it, so that's just because I like that grille, I put that grille on. But typically the 75 one, the radiator supports are further forward and the radiators drop down. So I've had to move the radiator 65mm forward to be able to accommodate the supercharger pulley. So that's what I've had to do. As you would have seen in other videos, it's just the plotter's thickened now because it's got the rubber bumper rails that have been cut, and yet it's got this radiator mount, and the numbers on the chassis, or on the VIN plate, on the dashboard and the door, don't match the number underneath the washer bottle. And also, don't get too concerned about the brake master cylinder. I put a late pedal box in because I like the brake line system the way it is. It's simple, easy to work with on the later models than it is on the earlier with the. Well, they had a T-piece down there on the right-hand drive models, and on this one I had a T-piece down here on the left-hand side. So the pipes were just a bit of a mess, as was the wiring. So as you would have gathered by the other videos that I've done, I've changed all that around. So if anybody's got any ideas as to why or what is going on here, I'd be very interested to hear. Yeah, it's just a mystery. And I have spoken to the gentleman, a very nice gentleman who owned the car before for 10 years. He didn't do any of the conversions. He had a lot of electrical issues with the car, and he sold it on. He bought it, he sold it on, and I don't know any history beyond that or before that. But yeah, he was a very nice gentleman and he was very helpful. And Howard, who I'm now found as my new Yoda in regard to MGs, he's in a bit of a quandary as well, because he just don't understand how it all worked, or what, whether it is like a super rare car or something. But anyway, whatever. I'm stopping waffling now. I've got a bit of a project I'm going to get onto, so I'll just introduce you to Tap, and then we'll go from there. So here we are, in the bottom garden, or at the front door should I say. I just want to introduce you to Tap. So this is Tap. Tap's the Jumbuck, Proton Jumbuck, and this is going to be my next little project for my wife. So we have a Proton Jumbuck, but now they are no longer made. Spare parts are getting increasingly difficult to get hold of. So found this one really cheap, and I'm going to turn it into garden art. And the reason it's called Tap is because when I drove it home, everything that I had to get to work, I had to tap it to get it to work. So the speedo, the fuel gauge, all those sorts of things all had to be tapped so that they would work. So this is a Proton Jumbuck. It runs well enough. They're economical. They're a handy little ute, what we call a ute or a utility. So just for running around. She's average, to say the least. It's an 2003, and it's locked, so the door lock works. Nope, that didn't work, so the tap didn't work on that occasion. But anyway, yeah, it got good tyres on, so they can go on the other car. The engine and gearbox are good. It's only got 100,000 Ks on it. Yeah. But it's, yeah, going to turn it into a garden. I'm going to put a garden in the front and a garden in the back. And my wife's going to grow flowers in there and veggies maybe, or whatever she wants to grow in there. And then when the grandkids come down, the grandkids can play in the car. Oh well, maybe if I tapped it on the other side, this one opened. But as you can see, yeah, a bit average. Bit average. It's got a service history and an owner's manual, which I found very surprising. Manual gearbox, and it's got a DIN 2 stereo system in it. That needed to be tapped to get it to work as well. So, but anyway, yeah. So the grandkids are going to go and play in this when they get a bit bigger, and yeah, be a little bit of a project, bit of fun. It wasn't overly expensive. It was just somebody wanted to get rid of it, and rather than send it to a wrecker and just let them destroy it, I can get the lights off it, things like that you can't get anymore. Even though they're a little bit damaged, they're better than having nothing. Tailgate, can't get them anymore. Rear step, can't get them anymore. Some of the trims around the wheel arches you can't get anymore. So yeah, door trims, yeah, lights useless, got a big chip in it, but yeah, there you go. It's a Proton. So this is the Proton called Tap. Alright, so that'll do for this video. Thank you very much for subscribing, thank you very much for watching. Please continue to subscribe and continue to send comments, and yeah, I'm grateful for everything that I'm receiving via the general public. I've also now put the bonnet heat protection on the inside of the underneath of the bonnet for the gentleman who pointed out to me that was missing. So I've done that, and I've done a few other little jobs as well, but the main thing was get the oil change done, change the fuel pump, and now going to move on to doing the cross member. So here's the cross member resting on the wood pile. So just been doing a little bit of cleaning and degreasing, and yeah, that's first coat of paint in this sort of area, and yeah, so I know this is the right one. This is a right hand drive. It's got the raised step on it here for the rubber bumper, so it gives you the extra lift. The steering rack will go through here. Yeah, so the chrome bumper one doesn't have this. The chrome bumper one has a flat. It's flat here, for those who are interested. And also these, I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but some of the people say that these move with the left to right hand drive, others say they don't. This is off a right hand drive car, so I know this is the right one for the car. So anyway, there you go, all painted and well, getting painted, and then yeah, I'll stick that on. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you for all the comments, and I'm trying to think of the names of specific people. Martin Hilliard, Martin and Charles, and oh, there's so many people to mention, but thank you very much indeed for everything. And yeah, we'll keep on going. I'll keep you updated and we'll go from there.
So bye for now.